The history of Black Methodists is rich in courageous, compassionate heroes, from Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth to Joseph Lowry and Charles Tinley. Prince Taylor Jr., the first African-American bishop to serve predominantly white conferences. Bishop James Samuel Thomas, a staunch civil rights activist. And retired Bishop Ernest Light, a pastor and district superintendent in G&J before becoming bishop. In 1968, the country was fraught with violence, suppression, and hatred. But it was also brewing with an unwavering spirit to institute change. Gil Caldwell, who had also walked alongside Dr. King in Selma and Birmingham, was there that day when the United Methodist Church was formed, which officially ended the central jurisdiction that segregated Black Methodists.
My dad was fortunate enough to accomplish a lot of very different things. But being one of the founders of the Black Methodist for Church Renewal, BMCR, was one of the things he was most proud of. And in 1968, when it was formed, to really bring about the promise of diversity, equity, and inclusion in this time, it's of divide. We need more people like my dad to bring people together.
Well, in 1968, I was 13 years of age, and I remember at that point, Magothy Mount Zion Methodist Church became part of the larger Methodist Church. I also remember the announcement that as opposed to being separate and distinct, even from the Magothy Church about a quarter of a mile from my church, we were now related. We are together in the new United Methodist Church.
In my life, I really find hope and meaning in connecting to other people and just hearing their own stories and learning about their past experiences.
I witnessed how my mother went to a local hospital and was turned away because of having no insurance and being Black.
I can't breathe.
You're doing fine, you're talking fine.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
The words Black Lives Matter is just an affirmation of the fact that as part of the American landscape, people of African descent are just as important as people of European descent.
I just think it's really important to help other people, and that's how you make change in the world. Like, things are only going to get better if there are people who are willing to work to make change.
We're now going to move to an order of the day, which is a report from our Journey of Hope team.
Where a Journey of Hope was developed by a team of G&J leaders with input from people across the conference.
It is important because it is a document that demonstrates the conference's commitment to end the sin of racism.
And the legislation passes. Thank you, everybody. This is a tremendous step for us in addressing the sin of racism.
The Journey of Hope, in my opinion, is an excellent next step in
that would provide a pathway for all of us to have these conversations where we can forgive one another, where we can provide resources that will help all of us grow, and that we can celebrate our gift of diversity.
You see, here in G&J, we are beginning to love each other's differences. We are beginning to appreciate what each and every one brings to the table. You see, as a youth here in G&J and all across the United Methodist Church, we are ready to fulfill that promise made in 1968.